Oké, Labvakar, man sauc Charles Bushmanis. Es runāju ļoti mazliet latviešu, so I'm going to continue in English. Furthermore, I've seen a few people not speaking fluently Latvian like me in the audience. First question to all of you. Who heard about RTU Design Factory today? Yay! Cool. Design. How do we define design? For us, design, we see it as a process involving specific skills to develop product, to solve challenges, to tackle issues. One of the way we tackle the issue, what is the very central approach in it, is called design thinking, which is awfully badly named because it should be called design making. So what is design thinking? It has three main steps. The first step is to understand. How can I understand what is happening around? What we do is we immerse ourselves in the environment. A couple years back, I've been working in this neighborhood in Utrecht in the Netherlands, and the question asked was, yeah, we have this neighborhood, we have something like 50 nationalities. People are a bit afraid to talk to one another. You know, you as designer, maybe you can come in and do some project. Well, okay. First thing I did, I went home, grabbed a sleeping bag, my bike, because it's very common to have a bike in the Netherlands, and started knocking on the door. Hey, what's your name?
Roland.
Roland, nice to meet you. Can I sleep over tonight? And I did this in several houses, several homes, met a lot of interesting people, because one of the first steps is, whom are you working for? Whom are you working with? Try to put yourself in someone else's shoes. Pretend you're an alien for a day. I mean, hey, there is something like, looks like a man with a minivan on a t-shirt, black glasses, big beard. That looks like a strong person in here. What is he going to do? Next step, create. We use what we call dirty prototyping. I'm going to see a few pictures of what was realized there recently. Why do we use that? Well, we use it to test ideas, test scenarios, and also get feedback from people. One of the ways you could all use today, also to gather this idea to test things, is called design probes. This is fairly common design methodology. There is a link with free ebook on the Design Factory website if you want to have a deeper look at it. But it's as when you develop a mobile application, for instance. First, draw it. Then you try, okay, should I slide this? Should I push this? What is happening? In the case of Utrecht, the question was how to gather the community together. Well, how did I gather myself into the people? Why did they accept me? Why are they afraid of getting their neighbors? And then looking a bit deeper at this, what happened is, well, they need kind of a distance. They need kind of a proof that the person wants to meet them. So, deliver is the third stage. Prototype, test, reprototype. Well, design making, design thinking, it's all about this constant cycle of experiment. So, first experiment, I go to people, I sleep over. Second experiment, I try to have people inviting one another to sleep over. And then after a few experiments, we came up with a project which was, you all know couch surfing. We did plate surfing. So people would be able to come in a space of some ceramists in Utrecht and buy a plate there, draw the path to their home, and leave the plate there. The next person could come, grab the plate to the condition they invite the person who drew the plate. In the Netherlands, they have somehow a thing with money, and money brings them safety. Because if the person paid, basically they're kind of paying for the meal through the plate, and that allows to have a bit more relationship in the neighborhood, and we've seen family connecting together in very interesting ways. Okay, but, well, you know, in reality, everything more or less happened at the same time. We have these three main stages, but when you're in stage 2 and 3, you still have the stage 1, etc. So, constant cycle of experiment. We also encourage students to experiment, whether it's with plastilene, with tools. We just, hey, here is the saw. This is how it works. This is the security measure for it. Give it a try. We had students who never touched a drill in their life, never touched a tool in their life. At the end of a week, he built a quadcopter with a remote control system and a camera gimbal working on 3-axis. But Design Factory. This is the basic scheme of Design Factory. What we're bringing in, we're bringing groundbreaking innovation from RTU. I mean, we have crazy scientists. Hey, maybe I can make rubber that is electrosensitive. Let's give it a try to this new technology. Let's develop filament out of hemp that is biodegradable, etc. We're getting students linked to this because it's the job of a university to bring knowledge to the student, to develop their skill, their creativity, and involve them in very interesting projects. Then we have international collaboration. Today there are 12 design factories around the globe, ranging from Philadelphia, New York, Melbourne, Shanghai, Chile, Netherlands, South Korea, etc. Startup and companies. So today we have 8 startups we are working with. I'm going to come back to it a bit later. From the university side, we bring our knowledge. Well, we have excellent knowledge in engineering in the university. We have some fairly good knowledge in business in Riga, if not excellent. So we are bringing this in. And also other fields. I mean, why someone studying ethnology could not have an extremely valuable input to develop a propulsion system for boats. True story of a project that happened in Alto Design Factory. The key person in a team to develop a new boat propulsion for ABB was someone studying ethnology. And out of that, we're getting spin-off, startup, collaboration, and I mean growing all together to the best quality project we can. Well, how did that started? I think we started as all of you, or so the ones who have started, pasta. You know, you have a space, you have nothing, and you need to grow it. You spend a lot of energy, you don't have much resources, you need to balance it, so you eat pasta, you invest your own money in the project. That's what we did. We got a space, we got our salary from the university, we invested part of our savings and our salary to start. This is when we opened on October 15. This is all the equipment we had at that date. 2 3D printer, 2 computers. That's it. Not even stool. The stool that you see here was borrowed. Nothing. And this is how we opened the Design Factory. Hey, we have these tools, just come, give it a try. We're open no matter what you print, whether it's a gift for your girlfriend, for your grandmother, or a study project. What is important for us is that you learn. Because if you know how to print something for your grandmother, one day you're going to use it for a research project, to start a company, for your study programs. Then, well, when you had enough pasta, at some point you're able to add some ingredient to it. So you start making pesto. The point is, you know, we experiment in Design Factory, so we make special type of pesto. And this is how it looks 6 months later. 6 months later, we have 4 3D printers, we have a bit more material, we have tables, we've been working on diverse projects. The one you see here is actually a startup that is in a green incubator developing wind turbines, generating electricity, and they came to us to help them build a scale model to test, showcase their technology to go to the next stage. And one day, we hope, we're going to be able to add lobster to the pasta. So, to date, this is what happened in the first 3 months of 2015. We have something like 15 to 30 students a day coming to the lab, depending on the days. The lab is the first room we open. It's 80 square meter. We're going to have 400 square meter later this year. We have 80 officials. This is mostly because of the event of the EU presidency. We had the economics ministry, culture ministry visiting us. A lot of RTU staff, professors, teachers, and quite many company representatives. I think the best meeting we had with company representatives was with some iRobot vice president. He made coffee for us. That was wonderful. And it's about passing this attitude when, yeah, I mean, here's a coffee machine. This is how it works. I want a coffee. I make my coffee. I offer you. And in a very natural way. So had a great time there. We had a great time with them, and so on. Collaboration with companies and scientists. We have some companies that we involve in the teaching program. We have currently 4 startups that are involved in teaching program. We have one that is working with canipes, hemp. We have one company that is having projects around hockey. We have one company that has a project around robotics, and we have another company that has a project around around tattooing. One prototyping, which was the wind tunnel, consulting for also RTU scientists and companies. They come here 1 hour to sometime on a longer term. And in preparation, we have, well, not 4 anymore, but 6, working with startup and big companies. So, how can we support you as a startup? What we aim to do is we're here to connect you to RTU knowledge base, connect you to the scientists you need, maybe connect you to students that have the skills you need for your company, for what you want to achieve. We can help you with design thinking methodology, product development, prototyping expertise as well. And all of this, we're trying to link you to students as much as possible. Because we believe that these students maybe could be part of your startups, could be part of your companies. That's also a very good way to test if you can work with them or not. So, these are a few projects that were made in the past 3 months in the design factory. Top left is the wind, electricity generating wind turbine that I was talking about, which is a project currently in a green incubator. Here we have a team, which is also here, who worked around a navigation system for visually impaired people using eye beacons. And there is a movie presenting their project on the website, but they're also really focused. But they put themselves in the shoes of blind people. What does it mean for me to walk in the street not seeing nothing? What does it mean for me being in a building, being blind? And they added all these elements in a sense. For instance, you go to the steps and it's like, hey, ahead of you are stairs with 10 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, no more steps. And this is all element they need to navigate. This is a team that approached us with, hey, we need a highly specialized electrosensitive material that shrinks, etc., etc. So, hey, wait a second. Why don't you try to go for dirty prototyping first? They ended up with an extremely low-cost solution to help stop troubling for people with Parkinson. This is another team that has been working on around an alarm system for people that have chronic disease, etc., that can alert first aid by the pressing a button telling, okay, I'm that person, this is my pre-existing condition, these are the contact number, they developed the platform behind it. They've decided to go for working functional prototype rather than a nice looking product, so they can demonstrate it. This is another team that literally reinvented the wheel. They went out there, worked with sportsmen on wheelchair, basketball player. Look, okay, what are your problem as handy sport? What are your problem with your wheels? And a lot of things came out of this. Well, we have these wheels, we have all these restrictions, it's not easy. So they first focused really on this rim for the wheelchair. And later on in the process, they realized, yeah, but what we've developed here, actually, we can use the exact same product for everyone. And this is better for their wheelchairs, according to the feedback we got from the people. And yeah, also, when we talk creativity, when we talk they're trying, they're doing a no PowerPoint presentation. I mean, strap something around your neck, go out there, show your project in a way that is slightly different. Their presentation was excellent. Now, well, we're connecting student startups. We're also starting to have more and more contact with investors. Why? Because for investor, it's also an early view on innovation that is happening in RTU. I mean, we have a researcher coming, hey, I developed these socks that can analyze your foot position. Can we work together, developing a band to connect it, collect data, and so on. So yeah, being able to see what is happening before it reaches the market at this early idea incubation. And also, well, for everyone coming in the design factory, there are coffees and hug. Here are other few things that happen. This one here, top left, is a researcher in an RTU with whom we collaborated, developing biodegradable 3D printing filament. So we made a lot of tests around it to define the print envelope of the material. And this is what happened when you come to the lab, you're trying to do crazy things and take crazy picture. This is a team working on the first picture. We had an event around robotic, displaying also all the innovation in robotics in RTU. Does any one of you heard about Sumo Robot? Yes. So you probably know that the Latvians are world champion in Sumo Robot competition. Yes. Yeah. And now the Japanese want to invite the Latvian to learn from us. It's just fantastic. Then we have some technical PCs developed. Again, making, and a lot of visitors. So, thank you. Here is where you can reach us online, by email, and we're looking for a RAF 977 minibus. Sorry, not a Volkswagen, because this has a much better story. It has also a logo written Latvia, which is wow. At the beginning, they planned to make it two versions, one which is powered with electricity, and another one that was working on hydrogen fuel cell. And that was quite a while ago. And I think it's a nice example of innovation in Latvia, how we can be and we can go very far. Unfortunately, I will have to leave quite soon. So if one or the other of you would like to speak with me, I'll go in the kitchen. Feel free to come. Paldies.
Thank you. Maybe a couple of quick questions from the audience. Are there any questions?
Remarks, comments, objections?
I will definitely go and visit you in the design factory. I'm sure quite many of you will. Really, no questions?
Okay, what's the biggest challenge? What's the biggest challenge in making a place like that?
I think the biggest challenge for us was about changing minds. Because, you know, a university structure, whether you're in Latvia or abroad, it tends to be quite a little bit compartmented. We're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this. and tackling it from a process rather than an outcome. So here's a sandbox, here's a playground, and communicate this attitude. So one of the first things we did to communicate this attitude when we're eating pasta is go to the shop, buy pink paint, blue paint, yellow paint, and start painting the room. So it does not look white anymore. It looks a little bit more creative. It looks like, yes, it's okay to try. It's okay to dare. And little by little, we see that people coming in the lab, they get into the mood, they get into the attitude. Something that happened this evening when I was leaving, a student just popped in. Hey, does anyone want to work on a web platform? I'm looking for people that can work on graphic design, programming, and have this crazy idea. And this trends to happen more and more. And I think this is really what tells the attitude is here.
Okay, next question. Oh, there's in the back.
Can people just drop in and visit? And if so, what would be the best way to do that?
Well, the best way to do that is come, get a coffee, get a hug. But basically, RTU Design Factory is mainly open for RTU students and staff. But we also work with guidelines rather than rules. We have two main guidelines. The first one is behave, and the second one is if it makes sense, do it. So if it makes sense, just drop by and come see us.
Okay. More questions?
And you can find us in the architecture faculty in the main campus of RTU. It's called The Lab.
Nice, awesome. Okay, so I will let Charles to wander off in the kitchen for coffee or some talks. Meanwhile, well, thank you. Big applause for Charles.